Hello, Radiant Ones. This is Dr. Sandra Wall Williams, author, speaker, momentum strategist, and your calling and career coach. On yesterday's video, we discussed the 4 seasons. We told you what those seasons were. They are prepare, plant, water, and harvest. We also talked about that you could be in more than one season depending on the activity that's going on in your life. The scripture basis is Ecclesiastes 3:1, which reads, "For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under the heaven." So that tells us that we can be in a season depending on the activity. We had a coaching assignment, and that coaching assignment was to list our activities. Didn't want to do anything with it, just list the different activities in your life. And then what we are going to do is once we list the activities, we're going to put with that the season that we're in according to that particular activity. So let's get started. Now, tonight what I want to do is I want to talk about why is it so important that you know that you are in the appropriate season for a particular activity. Why is it so important that you understand that you're in the appropriate season for a particular activity? Well, here's why. If you are doing an activity, but it is the wrong season to do the activity in, then the fruit of that activity will be dead fruit. Let me say that again. If you are doing activities, but it is in the wrong season to accomplish those activities, then the outcome of your activity will be dead fruit. What does that yield? That yields a life out of balance. So many times we wonder, why is it that our life is out of balance? Our life is out of balance because we may be doing the right thing, but at the wrong time or wrong season. And when you do the right thing in the wrong season, what happens is that the product that comes out of that season is not appropriate. We call it having dead fruit. Let me show you a quick visual. If you look at this particular scale, you'll notice that this is a scale that is out of balance. Okay? You notice on this side, this says this is me. This is dead fruit. I am out of season. Things are weighing me down, or I have dead works. When you're doing the right thing, but you're doing the right thing in the wrong season, it is like a weight on you because nothing is going correct for you. It is almost as you try and you try to get this thing done. You start, but you never finish. You say, okay, I'm going to start because it's the beginning of the year and I'm going to get this ministry accomplished. I'm going to do what God has called me to do. But you do it, but it maybe not be the right season for you to accomplish that. So what happens is, again, looking at the scale, you're out of balance because you're doing the right thing, but you're doing the right thing in the wrong season. And doing the right thing in the wrong season will weigh you down, and you will not be able to accomplish what it is that you need to accomplish. So that's why it is so important that, number one, we understand the seasons, and number two, based on our activities, we know what season that we are in for each activity. So for example, you don't want every single thing on this list to be one season, because if you are, that means that everything in your life is focused in one particular area. Now, we'll tell you this. Everything in your life needs to be focused on Christ. Christ is in everything. God is in everything. Some people say, well, I put God first. I do put God first, but I also say that God is in everything. So for everything that I do, God is in it. He is the center of everything that I do. So now let's look at the seasons, and I want to start with the season of preparation. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our list and we're going to determine, okay, based on the characteristics of the season of preparation, What in my life is in a preparation season? What activity in my life is actually in a preparation season? Okay, so your preparation season is an action or process for making something useful for service. So when you're in a preparation season, God is making you useful for service. That service could be ministry. That service could be your career or something in your career. That service could be to start a ministry. That service could be anything. It could be to be a stay-at-home mom. It could be to homeschool your children. Whatever that service is, when you are in the preparation season, God is preparing you for that particular season. Now, a characteristic of the preparation season, you will be shaped, stripped, and purged. So there will be a shaping and a molding, a stripping and a purging of things that are not like God. Those things have to go. Because one thing about the preparation season, let me tell you something. The preparation season of preparation is mandatory. The season is mandatory. You cannot skip over it. The preparation season is probably the most difficult season there is, because sometimes we have to stay there for so long. Remember what's happening. God is shaping you. He's molding you. He's stripping away and purging those things from you that are not like him. You can't take things into a excuse me. You can't take things into a new season if God says, no, you got to leave those things behind. I've got to purge some things off of you. He may even have to purge some people away from you. He may have to take you out of a situation and taking us from some things, or purging things off of us, or stripping and molding us. Sometimes it hurts. So in the preparation season, you are being shaped, you're being molded, and you're being purged, or things are being purged from you. Again, the preparation season is mandatory. You cannot get away from it. Now, I want you to remember this about the preparation season. Regardless of what you see now during this season, God is preparing you for your destiny. The preparation season is all about where you are going. The preparation season is not about where you are. The preparation season is about where God is taking you. That's why the preparation season is so difficult. When I learned that, I said, oh God, what are you preparing me for? Why do I have to go through all of this? Well, I'll give you another example. In 2011, I had a really hard time at work. I was ready to move on. I was saying, this is not the place for me. Why are these people treating me like this? Why do I have to endure this? I was praying like crazy. But now I understand. I can't help anyone move forward. I can't help anyone to have unlimited momentum until I understood what it was like to be stuck in a place and needed to move. So God had to put me in a situation. He had to let me experience being stuck. He had to let me experience frustration so that I could understand what that is like, so that I can see it in other women, and then I can help move them forward to where God wants them to be. So if you are in a place where you feel stuck, if you're in a place where you feel frustrated, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, then let me tell you something. God is preparing you for a destiny. You may not know what that destiny is. You may not understand why you have to endure what you're enduring right now, but I will tell you, God is preparing you for the vision and the destiny that he has tied up inside of you. My mentor always says, if there's destiny tied up in your belly, and God has to prepare that destiny before he can let it out. It's just like a baby growing for 9 months. A baby just can't come out right after it's conceived. The baby has to grow. It has to develop. It has to get all its fingers and all its toes. Its eyebrows have to develop. Its lips, its teeth, all those things have to develop. Even though you don't see the teeth coming out, they are being developed while the baby is in the womb. So, and then once the baby is ready to come out and ready to be birthed, then God says, okay, it's time for you to push it out. Well, that's how and what happens in the preparation season. You are prepared. What is inside of you is being birthed. It's being conceived. And what God is saying is before I can let her push it out, I've got to prepare her for what it is that she's pushing out. So if you are in the preparation season right now, if you feel like everything is coming down upon you, that you are frustrated, that you don't know which direction to turn, I will tell you, you are in a preparation season and God is preparing you for where He has you to go in the future. Remember, preparation is not about today. Preparation is about the future. You know, someone told me the other day that what I was giving on them, I was ministering to a group of women, and the pastor's wife told me, what you gave us today, you literally have paid your whole life for. And so I'm telling you that what God has for you in the future, we have to pay for it today, and we make that payment during the preparation season. I'm so excited about being able to teach you about the seasons, because once I understood about that, everything in my life wasn't preparation, or everything in my life wasn't plant or water or harvest. Then I understood, oh, that's why I can be frustrated as an entrepreneur, but I'm not frustrated as in my job. So now let's go back to our sheet, and I want you to look at your different roles, and I want you to look at each one of them, and then you determine, am I in a preparation season for one of the roles? Well, I'll tell you. Let me give you mine. I've listed one of my roles as ministry and heading to the next level. So what I found out was that, in the next level of ministry, I am always in a preparation season. God is always preparing me when I am in a going to that next level. So what I want you to do for your work on tonight is you look at your different areas, and then you determine, what season am I in that particular area of my life. So again, this is Dr. Sandra Wall Williams, and I hope you've enjoyed I call it coach teaching, but I hope you've enjoyed it. But I want you to really, really get this, because if you get this, so many doors will be open for you, and so many weights will fall from you, because you'll understand why you can be frustrated in one area and not frustrated in another. Again, have a wonderful night, and I look forward to bringing the next video to you. Bye-bye.